This video is sponsored by Envato Elements. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how I redesigned this logo and gave it a fresh look. I'm going to show you how I did that. So as I was looking around recently, I've been looking for a farm that produces grass-fed meat because I want to support local farmers. And being in lockdown, we want to make sure that we're eating healthy and boosting the immunity. So I found this website. It's a local farm that's actually near the Blue Mountains in a town called Oberon, which is really cool. And I looked at that logo and I thought it needs a revamp or refresh. So I'm like, let's redesign it. So this is their logo here. You can see down to earth produce. They do deliveries and they really focus on lamb and beef, really. That's their main thing. But I want to redesign this logo. So let's jump into it. So in this video, I'm using Envato Elements. They have over 50 million resources with photos, mockups, fonts, a whole bunch of stuff. And I love checking them out. As you can see here, I'm using a whole bunch of things in this video today. So for example, if I want to go check out a font, I can click on fonts and type in grunge and a whole bunch of cool fonts will pop up. So Envato is amazing. They've got a whole bunch of stuff for designers, especially if you're a brand designer, logo designer, or even a graphic designer. I especially love finding mockups, which are really cool as well. As you can see here, you've also got video templates and you've also got a whole bunch of 3D assets. So if I wanted to find a bag, this 3D asset, I can literally go save it to a collection, add it to my collection if I want, and even put it just like that. And I can also rotate things around. So if I click view the render of this 3D object, I can easily play around and actually move the direction and then download it super easy. So maybe I want it like that. I can click download and just like that, it gives me a license and I'm ready to lock and load and go with that on the design stuff. So I've dropped in the sketches just so I can have a visual reference. So you can see some of the type lockups I was figuring out. I really feel like I'm going to be doing this one here, the round lockup. This one was pretty good too. And then I was drawing sort of a lamb, just wanted a simple brand icon that would stand out and then play around with some colors. So this is the icon I'm going to work on in this video, and let's start to design it. So I'm just going to make a new layer and call it sketch, and just make sure that the sketches are on that layer. I'll make a new layer, call it design. I'm just going to lock this layer for now, and I'm going to double click on the layer and click template and drop it to like 60%. So this will make this bottom layer a template, and it will bring the opacity down as well. So I'm just going to press tab here. All right, I'm going to start to create this logo. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use my pen tool, click on the right layer here, and I'm just going to start to trace over my design. Typically, I would use shapes and stuff like that, but sometimes I just like using the pen tool. It's just a lot easier. So what I can do is just going to go through here, and I'm going to just use straight angle shapes here. And I'm going to come back and I'm going to round it off. I'm going to make this stroke black for now, as you can see. I'm just going through and just left clicking, holding shift. And I'm going to fix up all the spots I don't need later on. Just like this, keeping it really simple. Just like that. So we've got our base shape here, which is really cool, and we can work off that. So I'm just going to duplicate that shape in case I need to like go back. I'm going to do the ears as well, and I really made this sketch from scratch. I looked at an image that I found on Envato. Even Google had a few images, and basically I create a sketch based on a side view of like a young lamb, and then we've got a little bit of grass here. I'm just going to bring this down so we have a consistent like floor, like pretend we got like a line there, which I'll just leave there for now. And then I'm going to use that to make this is like a little grass patch. I don't know if I'm going to keep it, but we'll see if it's useful. Should have joined these two. I'm gonna use the shape builder tool, minus that off. Cool. So now we've got all these shapes here, and it's already looking clean compared to the original logo. I'll quickly just screenshot this, so I'll just have it there on the side, so we can have it there, which is cool. Alrighty. Beautiful. So we've got the base shapes here. I'm using Shift X to flip the stroke and the fill, which is really cool. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start to use the pen tool to actually round off everything. I could probably leave this shape like this if I wanted that nice angled sharp edge approach. I'm just going to duplicate it. But in this case, I feel like we want to keep it a bit warm, not too geometric. So for this eye, I'm going to press L for the ellipse tool, and I'm going to quickly make a circle, and then press A for the direct selection tool, and I'm going to drag this and bring it like this, and it will sort of make the eye just like that. So it's like a bit of a oval shape. Put on an angle there. I think that looks cool. If it looks a bit creepy, I can always just bring it back in. I think that looks all right for now. Cool. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to press P for my pen tool. So you can see my pen tool. I'm going to hold Alt. If you're on a Mac, it might be Option. And I'm going to just put my mouse over the lines, right? And I'm going to try and follow the organic line that I've sketched. So I'm going to hold Alt, left click and drag on the line here. And then what it does, it's going to bend the handles of that shape. So I can bend it like this. If I hold Option or Alt, I can bring it back like this. So this allows me to play around with all those ear shapes. Sorry, with all the lines and turn it into like an ear. So I'm gonna use this, and I can always come back and like tweak. And like if I want to round it off, you can see I select one of the anchor points and I drag that white circle, and that will round that off like this. So I think the ear feels a little bit too thick there. Bring it down. This one, I'm gonna round off this a little bit, which is nice. Rotate it a little bit just so it's sort of matching. Cool. Now I'm going to go through here and go through all the other parts as well. This one I can probably just round off like that. Yeah, I think that looks all right. And I'll move that line. Cool. I can leave the back heel like that. That's fine. Other parts, this part as well, I wanted to round this off. You can see it's gonna look a little bit too probably thick there, so I want to press Ctrl Z. I'll probably just go maybe halfway because I don't want it to be too exact. I think that's cool. And then we're gonna fix the shape. Sheep are very have a round sort of face. I don't want to make it too round though. I'll just drop that down a bit, and maybe bring it in a little bit as well. Cool. And the reason why I did sort of like a little slit there, because it just adds a bit of detail. It just sort of separates the head there and the body there. So the eyeball, I will just drop that down a little bit. I think the head angle, is fine. All right, so here I just got to fix this up because it's a bit wonky. You can see how the thickness is not really matching up, so just gonna play around with that. Pull that back a little bit. And I think this leg needs to move a little bit forward. No. I think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna add a slit here as well, like this. And then so you can see the shape. I will select the whole shape and press Shift M, hold Alt, and just cut out. So it's like the shape builder tool cuts it out for me. And then now I sort of got like that slit, as you can see there, which looks a little bit funny. I'm zooming out to really just get a look of it, get a vibe for it. I think pull it back a little bit. To make it more balanced. Beautiful. All right, I think that's good. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna press Shift X. So I've got my shapes, and I'm just gonna duplicate this this lamb now. I'm gonna make the eyeball white, so using the eyedropper tool. I'm gonna make these black as well, and then I'm going to delete that line, but I'll have one version with the line there and just delete that, and then one without. So you can see it's clearly lined up using my guides there, just so you can see. Smart guides turn on. It's if you go to Control U, you can see your smart guides there. Really useful tool. And I think that is looking cool. The only issue is the ears. I think they need to be brought a bit closer, like this, and match it up. So what I'm trying to do is like match up the lines as much as possible. Yeah, you don't have to use a grid if you don't want to. That's totally up to you. Like, doesn't have to be perfect, because it is a family farm. And we want to just make sure that it's nice, organic. I think that's fine. I think maybe I should make this a bit smaller. What do you think? Yeah, I think that looks good. Alrighty, we got that. Beautiful, it's looking good. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna duplicate it. And then what I'm gonna do is, I'm just gonna Shift M. I'm gonna cut out that eyeball there. And then what you're gonna do, go to Pathfinder and click the Unite button. And now we should make all one shape. So now I can change the color really easily, just like that. So now what I'm gonna do is work on the typography. So we're gonna have our lamb right in the center of our typography. And then what we're gonna do is, I'm gonna do a circle. So I'm gonna create an ellipse here. And then I'm gonna bring my tools back up. I'm gonna press Shift X, so I've got this circle here. I'm gonna duplicate it as well, just so I've got a backup circle. And I'm gonna go to the type tool section on the left hand side. And then what I'm gonna do is click type on a path. And now I'm gonna click on this path here. And it's gonna allow me to actually type on this path, which is really cool. So I'm just going to fix this up, because I want a certain size. And then I'm gonna all caps type down to Earth. Make it bigger, and then I'm gonna bring it like this. Now, I've already gone ahead and downloaded the fonts and the assets, and I'm gonna go use that now. So I'm just gonna drag out my type here, and I'm gonna type in the fonts. So we've got black ground, the one that I downloaded, and we've also got the other one. So grass fed. The other one is grunges, which is cool. It's like a brush font, which I think is really nice, and it's all caps as well, which I think is cool. So that's like an extra thing we can use here. And this one, you can see it's like a nice grungy font, sans serif. It is probably a little bit too rough, but I feel like it's fine for this because it is like a farm. We don't want to go too like sterile. So I think this will be fine. Alrighty. So let's work on this. I'm just gonna put that over there. Let's snap it back here. Cool. So I want to refer back to my sketch I did. So we've got down to earth, fresh produce. So I'm gonna duplicate this, Control C, Control F, and I'm just dragging around like this. Then what you want to do is, I want to find the middle line here of this shape, or this line, and then I'm going to click and drag it and bring it to the other side, so it literally just flips over like that. I'm going to type fresh produce. The original logo had just produce on it, but I feel like having fresh produce just sounds a bit better, and it's easier to balance out on this type of logo when it's like a badge design. I'm going to eyedropper and make sure that it's the same size, so I left click the top text, and I'm just dragging it so we can have like that even balance. So you can see I'm trying to balance the font here, just so the spacing is balanced. And I'm just using my eye. You know, I'm used to it because I've got a lot of experience. You can try and do it perfect, but you know, just keep it simple, guys. Keep it simple. Beautiful. So what else we got? I'm gonna add some little details. So we'll go. I can delete this. I can move this other circle like out of there, and I'm gonna go 100% grass fed, because on their website they mentioned a lot of things about that. So on the about page, I can go to their story, and I looked up what they were saying. So like grass fed, high quality lamb. They've been doing it for like many years. which is really cool. So that's where I got that information from. So I'm just gonna design this like this, and then I'm gonna put TRD, which stands for trade, and then I'm gonna go MRK, so it's trademark. So they've probably trademarked this. They've been around for many years, 3 generations. So I'm just gonna assume, you know, that it's a trademark, and we're just gonna, it's a creative thing to fill in these gaps, which I really love playing around with. So that's all the same font there. And then what I'm gonna do, Control G, just make sure that obviously it should be grouped. Okay, so I'm just gonna hold Alt and then just drag that in, hold Shift, scale that down, bring it bang into the center as much as possible. And I think that's looking great. Might make this a bit smaller. And I'm just using the arrow keys and dropping that down. I really want this icon to be, you know, a generous size, but also providing space. Down to earth, and beautiful. So what I can do is I can maybe extend like these grass things like this. Oops. I could do that. I think originally I was going to do that, but I think it's a bit too many details. Even this one, I could probably delete this grass. It looks like a fire, maybe. You know, maybe I should just delete that. You know, to really simplify. But I think it makes it stand out a bit more. I think I'm just gonna do it like that. I think that looks pretty cool. What other ideas did I have here? Yeah, I think that's really useful. So let's duplicate this and let's play around with some color. I feel like this is a solid design. So we've got, I'm just gonna make a backup there, and then I'm gonna press Control Shift Outline. So now everything's like outlined, you know, so I can, you know, move around the text and stuff without damaging it. Bring this down. One other option I can do as well is if I want to make sort of this circle shape like that and sit the lamb on it, I could do that. So I'm really just playing around with some ideas here. Oh, and I can make this white, sorry, and drop it in. So that could be an interesting shape as well. Keep it within a nested shape. That can work as well. So just depends what we want to do. I think for now, this is the thing I want to do. I could probably get rid of this and just scale it up. I think probably that works better. Another cool thing as well is I can draw a path like this of the shape of the back of it. And then right click on the type tool and click type on a path again and type, and then just copy paste. I can't copy paste that. This one's a live one. Copy paste the text and then drop it in there. Make sure it fits, make it a bit bigger. Yeah, cool. So that's another option as well if you want to like slot it in this white space, because there is a lot of white space in this area, as you can see. So we're sort of filling it up, because without it there's like a lot of white space. So that's another way of filling it up. The only thing is it's very small, so the detail gets lost. So that's another idea we can use. I'm just gonna duplicate it, but I think for now I'm just gonna keep it like this. Fresh produce, down to earth. I can even probably add a little bit of grunge to the sheep as well. But I think the icon, it looks solid. So what I'm gonna do, let's go to color hunt. Love playing around with these colors, which is really cool. And I want to look for like a greeny color palette. Oh, that one looks pretty good. I'm going to screenshot that and I'll paste that in. The original colors are pretty brown. It wasn't really green. So I don't know if that's really working for them, but I want to brighten it up and yeah, freshen it up a bit. I think that one has potential as well. Oh, this one's nice. This one, and I think no, I don't want. I think this one. Cool. So I want to paste that, and then also paste the other one. I'm just going to quickly go back to my screenshot. Cool. Now what I like to do, I'll quickly make the color palettes from this. So you got 1, 2, 3, just using the eyedropper tool. Cool. Delete those. Delete all my swatches. And I'm just going to make folders of that really quick. Alrighty. So now we've got a nice palette. Now let's play around. I want to stick with this palette for now. I think the greens are nice. So let's start to play around. I'm gonna make all the text that dark green color, I feel like. We want to still make sure that it's like readable. I think these need to be a little bit bigger. So I'm gonna edit that on the fly. Okay, cool. I'm just gonna quickly measure it with my eye, just so it's roughly in the middle. Cool, awesome. I'm gonna quickly duplicate this. Put the dark color there, and then duplicate, make it smaller, make it all white. See how it looks like that. That looks pretty cool. Just want to duplicate it, and then this other bright green looks nice as well. Maybe I should do that one. Maybe we don't want to go too fresh. This other green does feel fresh, so we'll test it out. So I like this green over here. This one feels better. I think this green feels nice, man. So what we'll do, duplicate that, make that text that darky, I don't know, it's like a murky brown, muddy green type of color. And then we've got this other main color here, which I really like. So it has a bit more contrast. I could also potentially make this other text a bit darker as well. So I'll go to my color, and then you press the hamburger menu, press HSB, and then I'm gonna bring this slightly down. So you can see it like makes it a little bit darker. And then what I can do is press plus and drop that swatch in somewhere down here. So now I'll just use that swatch, which I think is working really well. Beautiful. So we're back at it, and I'm really happy with this logo. I think it's looking clean. I think it's looking good. If I want to rough up this shape, all I can do is go to Effect, then go down to Distort and Transform, and go to Roughen. And what I can do is go 0.2 on the relative and the detail. You know, I can play around with this, and as you can see, the edges of the shape will start to go there, like go a bit more grungy. So I'm gonna bring this down a little bit. I don't want to bring it too down, but maybe go like 13. I'll put this 0.1, try relative, and then okay. And if I zoom in, you can see it makes it a little bit rough, that icon. So it just adds that little bit of texture. We could also roughen it another way, but I think I could leave it like that, or just gonna leave it like really flat for now. I think that's really cool. I think this is gonna look good as well. So I'm just gonna play around with this font that I have, and 100% grass-fed, and maybe I can use this on some packaging or something like that. Excellent. I want to see what else. Cool. All right, I'm happy with it. Now let's do some mockups and see how the final brand's going to turn out. So I'm in Bridge and I've downloaded some of these assets. As you can see, I'm just going to open up Photoshop, and then I'm going to start playing around with some of these mockups. And some of these mockups, I grabbed everything off Envato, all the assets you see here, and it was really fun playing around. So if I press spacebar, you can see some of the stuff I've downloaded. So I can use maybe some of these bags, not so much the bread and stuff, but the meat, I could use that. You know, we've got some chopping boards. We've got some other little elements there. We've got some packaging here, which is cool. I can probably change the background if I wanted. We've got some signs, even like a van, so for delivery, because they do delivery. So I'm getting relevant things that are relevant to the actual business. Artboard here, I'll just go 1080, 1920 by 1080. I don't know why this is like off by 1 pixel for some reason. And I'll just click create. And then I like some of these textures. They're really, really nice. Some of these wood grunge textures that I downloaded. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to, I think I'll go with this one. Drag this, drop it into Photoshop, and then just scale it up like that. So it should be pretty high quality. Yeah, nice. So I can use this as a backdrop. Then what I want to do is maybe get one of these packaging that I have here. So premium meat. I'll double click this. And the actual mockup itself, I can probably get rid of the background, and then I'll take the mockup and drop that in, and then I can transform this. So I'm just dragging in, making it smaller, and I can spend a lot of time on it if I want to, you know, make everything, you know, perfect and stuff. But I'll just try and make this as possible. I'll delete the background. So we've got like the meat, so you can see all the layers. Everything comes in like a PSD, which is sweet. So we've got the meat there, we've got the label as well, as we can see there, which I think is really cool. So I just want to grab the label, and I'm going to double click here and change the design. So there's 3 types of label. Oh, there's actually 3 designs, which is pretty cool. Kind of like it. So I'll go window, arrange, wrong one, vertical, just so I can see what's happening. So you can see if I choose a different and press Control S to save it, it's going to update on the other side here, which I think is really interesting, which is awesome. So I could go with this or the red. I think I'm going to go with this one because I want to change the color. Yeah, I think that's really cool. So I'm going to start to play around with the design here and actually start to edit it. So I'm going to Control C, and then I'm going to bring this logo in. Put the logo right there. Put it above everything. And then I'm going to double click, and I'm going to make the color gradient white. Press OK. I'm going to get rid of this cow. This color, I need to bring in my colors from here. Then change the color like this. That font, let me see if our font pops up. Grunge, regular. What was the font we used? Let's just go back. Black grounds, sweet. Black grounds, regular. So we could use the same font, but it might conflict with the logo. So I'm just going to go, I'll go TT normals for this. Just real high quality. Premium lamb. Let's make this a bit bigger. Now, if I go to their website and go to their shop, let's just see if we can take some like information from some of the meat. As you can see, the meat they just got. They don't really have much information. They've got the normal the story stuff. Let me just put that about stuff. There's a lot of text. All right, I'm just letting that. I'm gonna chuck that text in there. Make it TT norms regular, which is nice and clean. The quality skill, I'm just gonna leave it there. Just gonna move it a bit. We've got fresh meat here. We'll change the font there to the grunge font, the swash font. Freshly delivered. Now the color of this as well, we'll select. We'll probably go with the green color here. Yeah, I think that looks best. Same as this yellow. Change that. Looking good, 100% grass fed. I want to click Control S and see what I updated with on the other side. As you can see there, this is what it's looking like. Cool, looking good. I'm just going to decrease the size of the logo because it's a bit too big right now. Line it up right in the center. And you just got to look at the mock, because the mock sometimes is a bit different to the actual. Alrighty, here's the final design that we came up with. You can see it all its glory with the mock-ups. Really thank you so much for watching this video. And remember, you can sign up to Envato for only $16.50, so you get 50% off on the annual plans. I'll put a link in the description below to check it out, but definitely sign up and check it out because it's a really great resource for designers. Thanks so much for watching.